To seek to support the biblical creation story, we often look to various forms of evidence beyond personal faith. We turn to what is known as creation science, which attempts to find evidence in the natural world that aligns with the Genesis account. For example, there is the complexity of life, arguing that systems like the human eye or the intricate mechanics of a single cell are too complex to have arisen by chance. This irreducible complexity is surely evidence of an intelligent designer, a creator who must have put the pieces together. This is an argument from design, suggesting the world is like a finely tuned watch that must have had a watchmaker. The theory of evolution relies on the idea that things can improve or become more complex given enough time. However, what we observe is that everything runs down or becomes less complex. This is called the second law of thermodynamics, or the law of entropy. When you consider automobiles, for example, they go from good to bad, from working to broken, from clean to dirty. Window switches that were working one day stopped working the next. Motors that keep the windows moving smoothly up and down began to groan and then stopped. Fuses blew over and over again. Rust in the metal always appeared where it wasn't before and never gave way to clean and shiny metal. Yes, the law of entropy was fully in effect, and the only way to reverse that process was to invest time, energy, and money. For evolution to work, this law would have to work in reverse. New information would have to be added to the existing organism for it to improve or increase in complexity. It is hard to believe that incredibly complex human beings evolved from lower life forms. When DNA is subjected to random change, the mutation can sometimes be harmful, leading to diseases like cancer. But, atheists argue, given enough time, a microorganism acquired the instructions necessary to produce a complete human life. Instructions that must perfectly direct the assembly and interworking of dozens of systems. The truth of the matter is that the existence of life on Earth is the work of an intelligent designer who conceived it into being. Another area of exploration is the fossil record. If all life forms have evolved from simpler life forms, there should be millions, billions of transitional fossils available for study. These transitional fossils, for example, would be of the type showing the process of one species evolving into another. However, no transitional fossils have ever been found. While evolutionists might assume that these transitional forms existed at one time, none of the hundreds of millions of fossils found so far provide the missing links. Geisler and Turek point out that the fossil record actually lines up better with supernatural creation than with macroevolution. Indeed, there aren't missing links, there's a missing chain. The irreducible complexity of life and the lack of transitional fossil records are somewhat closely related to one another. They go on to say that living things are filled with molecular machines that perform the numerous functions of life. These molecular machines are irreducibly complex, meaning that all the parts of each machine must be completely formed in the right places, in the right sizes, in operation order at the same time for the machine to function. If even one component of this machine is missing, it cannot operate. This challenges the evolutionary view that life developed gradually, one piece at a time. For life to exist, its essential parts must be present, fully functional, and working together from the start, just as the Bible states. While both creationists and evolutionists must rely on faith to believe in an unwitnessed and unrepeatable past, creationists can appeal to a powerful, all-knowing God who was present at creation, is incapable of lying, and whose word serves as a direct testimony. The biblical account of creation provides several claims about the origin of life and Earth's history that are consistent with scientific and geological observations. The Bible states that God created distinct kinds of animals and plants, a concept supported by the observed genetic boundaries today, where change and breeding occur only within a specific kind, for example, the cat family producing only cats. Similarly, the biblical claim that all humanity originated from Adam and Eve is affirmed by genetics, which confirms that all people belong to a single, unified human race. Furthermore, the Bible records a global flood, an event powerfully confirmed by the geological record, Scientists today observe billions of dead organisms buried in water-laid rock layers across the entire globe, which is precisely the evidence one would expect from such a catastrophic worldwide event.